Hi guys, welcome back to a new video. My name is Maddie if you are new here. Today I thought it would be fun if we filmed a little get ready with me. I'm gonna do my hair, my makeup, pick out an outfit, and we can just chit chat and catch up a little bit. I'm actually getting ready for a friend's birthday party. It is garden party themed. So I'm gonna do a very like summery, glowy makeup look. I also don't know what I'm wearing yet. I have a few dress options to try on so we can figure that out together. I'm so excited to be partnering with Lulus on today's video. Anytime I have any sort of event coming up, whether it's a wedding or a birthday party or a trip where I want to wear cute dresses, Lulus is my #1 go-to. They have so many amazing dresses, such cute on-trend styles, but for very affordable prices, and the quality is always unmatched. I have personally ordered from Lulus so many times in the past, so I was very excited to work with them. And when I had a garden party coming up, I knew that Lulus would have exactly what I needed. So I got so many cute dresses in the mail, excited to try them all on. I'm gonna try on all my options first. I hate being in full hair and makeup and not knowing what I'm wearing and then having to like get dressed and try not to mess up my makeup. So let's figure that out first. All of the dresses I'm gonna show you are from Lulus. I'll have them all linked down below along with my sizing details so that it's super easy if you wanna shop any of them. Okay, option #1, we are starting off so strong with this gorgeous green maxi dress. I am blown away by how this looks on. I love the cowl neck and the open back. The fabric of this is super elevated. This would actually be an amazing wedding guest dress. Goes all the way to the floor, so it's perfect to wear with heels. I'm actually obsessed with this. This is a top contender already for sure. Option #2 is a little bit of a different vibe. We have this mini dress. It has like a lacy floral pattern on it, so I thought the flowers made it perfect for garden party as well. I'm obsessed with the cut of this. I think it's so classy with the high neck in the front, little V in the back. This one's also so comfortable, so I feel like this is a good option to just hang out in all day. Option 3 is another lacy florally one, but this one is a pink kind of midi length dress. It also comes with this neck scarf thing, so that's fun to play around with. Very elegant. This is gorgeous. It kind of has a little bit of a shine to it. I feel like this would look really pretty in pictures in the daylight. This would be another really pretty wedding guest dress for like a spring or summer wedding. Okay, next is this super fun little lime green mini dress. I actually don't think I'm gonna wear this today because I want to save it. I'm going to Atlantic City soon for a little girls trip, and I feel like this would be perfect for one of the nights there, just like for drinks, dinner, dancing. This is giving Atlantic City vibes to me for some reason, but it is so cute. I'm obsessed with it. It fits me so well. I also love how this like tapers in right here. It's just very flattering. Okay, option #5 is another very strong contender. It is this butter yellow maxi dress. Guys, the fabric of this is actually the softest thing I've ever touched. It is so soft and stretchy. It is this gorgeous form-fitting dress. I love the little ties on the sleeves. I've been obsessed with yellow this summer. My phone case is yellow. I've been wearing it a ton. I feel like it looks really good with a tan. I think I'm stuck between this and option 1. Those are my 2 favorite. This one's just so comfortable though. I feel like this might be the winner. I think I'm gonna go with this one. It's just perfect for this occasion. We're gonna be like hanging out outside. It's so cute, but also so comfortable. I think I need to save the first green option for like a wedding or something. But I am actually obsessed with every single dress that I got. I'm gonna get started on my hair and makeup, and then we'll change back into this at the end and do all the finishing touches. Okay, I'm gonna start with hair. I am a hair, then makeup, then outfit girl. That is my getting ready order of operations. Also, I'm gonna be chatting throughout this video, so all the products that I'm using will be listed and linked down below for you guys. So if you wanna know any of the products that I'm using, they will all be in the description. Starting with some heat protectant. I'm gonna section off my hair into 2 sections. I am just gonna wave my hair today. I've been doing this hairstyle a ton this summer because I feel like my hair doesn't cooperate the best in the summer. It's just obviously very humid, but this style actually lasts all day, and I feel like even when it's kind of humid and my hair gets a little frizzy, it still kind of looks good because it's supposed to be like a little crazy beachy. I'm excited to sit down and chat with you guys and catch up. I feel like this summer has been so busy for me. I have barely been home in Arlington for basically the whole summer. I haven't even really had to travel to many cool places. I've just had to be home in New Jersey for a ton of like random friend or family things. So I've been driving up there for a lot of weekends, or if I have like back-to-back things, I've just been staying up there for the week at my parents' house. A couple of my friends got engaged last year, my friends Dana and Daniela. So I've been home for a couple engagement things for them. Daniela had an engagement party in June, and then Dana had a little bridesmaid proposal lunch thing a couple weeks ago. I'm a bridesmaid, which I'm so excited about. These are like my first 2 close friends to get engaged, and it'll be my first time being a bridesmaid for both of them, and I'm so excited. It's like a new era. I'm 28, so I feel like that's kind of the age where it starts. At least that's the case in New Jersey. Most of my friends are from high school or from college, so all Jersey girls, and it's just now starting, and I feel like it's gonna pick up over the next couple years. I have a lot of friends that might be getting close. Definitely a different vibe from where I'm originally from. I was born in Nebraska. I moved to New Jersey when I was 13. So all the girls I was friends with like growing up in Nebraska are like married with kids, some multiple kids by now. So for me and my girls on the East Coast, it's just getting started, but it's very exciting. So I've just had to be home for like random stuff like that. I also had family in town. I have a trip at the end of July to Atlantic City, which I'm really excited about. But after that trip, I am home for all of August, and I'm so happy to just get back into my routine, go to workout classes, cook meals at home, hang out with my pets, and also explore more of the DMV, because I feel like even though I moved here in January, it literally feels like I just got here. Time has absolutely flown. I feel like I haven't done that much yet, like in terms of exploring here. I definitely have tried some restaurants here in Arlington and in DC, and I've tried a lot of like coffee shops and explored different neighborhoods, but I still have so many places saved that I want to try. I feel like I've kind of become an expert now when it comes to moving to new places that I'm not totally familiar with. Anytime I've moved, or even when I'm just going on a trip, I always save places that I find on like TikTok or Instagram to a Google Maps folder. So I have different folders for DC and for Arlington, and I'll save them to different categories. So I have like Arlington dinner spots, or DC coffee shops, or DC breakfast spots. That way when I go to my Google Maps, I can see like the little pins that I have all over the city. That's how I keep track of like places that I find and want to go to. I need to get better at like marking off places I've been, because I know you can even leave little notes in Google Maps to keep track of like what you ordered and if you liked the place. So I need to do a better job of that. But I have literally so many restaurants, especially in DC, that I want to try. So starting August, it's time for me to start checking out all of these places and getting to know my city a little bit more. Also, DC in particular is obviously so rich in history, and I want to check out a lot of the museums here. There's always just so much going on in terms of like events, especially in like the art and culture space. Before the end of the summer, I really want to go to Jazz in the Garden. It's like a big summer activity here in DC. It happens every Friday, and they have different jazz artists perform, and it's a free event, but to get tickets, it's like a lottery, and I think it's kind of hard to get them sometimes. So I'm trying to get tickets for that before the end of the summer. But I feel like there's always stuff like that going on, like outdoor music or art events. I'm excited to check more of them out throughout the rest of the summer and into the fall, which I can't believe I'm already saying fall. How is summer like already halfway over? Even though I have barely been home the last few months, I have really been enjoying Arlington since moving here. I'm very happy with my decision to come here. I feel like it was exactly what I needed at this phase of my life. Just finished my hair. That actually took me 10 minutes. Like, this is the easiest hairstyle, and I like wearing my hair like this in the summer because it just lasts. Like, I can even brush this out and it'll probably still look good for the next like 3 days. I'm gonna do a little hairspray and then also some hair oil just on the ends. I'm gonna get started on makeup. I do feel like I've lived in Arlington long enough now to kind of look holistically at how I like living here versus Charleston. There are definitely times where I miss Charleston. There are certain aspects about Charleston that I miss. Obviously the beach is the biggest one. This is pretty much the first time ever I've lived somewhere that I don't have super close access to the beach. Obviously Charleston was the closest. I was like a 20-minute drive from Folly Beach. Even being from New Jersey, I lived up in North Jersey, so the beach was always like an hour drive away. Definitely doable for a day trip. but here the closest beach is a couple hours away, so I haven't really been going to the beach at all this summer. My building does have a pool, so that is a huge plus, but I definitely do miss the beach. I want to try to squeeze in one like long weekend at a beach somewhere here in the Northeast before the end of the summer. There are also a handful of restaurants that I really miss in Charleston. I feel like Charleston was a much smaller community, so it was easier to like find my favorite restaurants kind of right away. I feel like the food scene in the DMV is so amazing but overwhelming because there are so many great places. So I haven't quite found like my favorite spots here yet. There are a couple restaurants and coffee shops in Charleston that I do really miss, but aside from those things, I feel like everything else about being here in Arlington is better for me at this time in my life. It's definitely a faster paced lifestyle here. I feel like Charleston is obviously a beach town. Nobody works in Charleston. It's just like a very like vacation-y, touristy spot, but I feel like people that live there don't even work. So it is kind of refreshing being here and seeing people walking to the metro in their, you know, corporate outfits in the morning. Meanwhile, I work from home and I'm always in athleisure, but still, I do think that I personally like being around that lifestyle. It's more what I'm used to being from Jersey and having worked in New York and being around other people that work in the city. So I definitely like that aspect. It just has more of like a big city feel to it. Even not being in actual DC, like being in Arlington, it still has that feel. A lot of people that live here commute into DC for work. I feel like that's not something I realized was that important to me until I didn't have it. And then living somewhere that was a much slower pace, I kind of missed like the go, go, go. I think my favorite thing about living in Arlington so far is the accessibility to everything. I live in a super walkable neighborhood, and this is really the first time in my life I've lived in a walkable neighborhood. I've kind of always lived like right outside of the mix. I lived in Jersey City for a while and other parts of New Jersey where I definitely relied on my car, but could easily like get to the city that was walkable. And then when I lived in Charleston, I lived on James Island, which was also very car dependent. I could drive 10 minutes to get to downtown Charleston, which was super walkable, but where I actually lived, I definitely needed a car and there wasn't a ton close by that I could walk to. Like I was driving to the grocery store, driving to my workout classes. But here I can walk to pretty much everything I need on like a day-to-day basis. I have multiple grocery stores in my neighborhood that I can walk to. I also have a couple workout studios that I go to on a weekly basis that I can walk to. Arlington also has a lot of its own restaurants and bars. I usually go into DC if I want like a nicer dinner or like a cool bar or cocktail lounge. I wouldn't say the food scene here in Arlington is like incredible, but there are some local restaurants that I've been to, and it's nice to have the option if you just want to stay close by but still go out to eat. But if I do want to go into DC, I usually take the metro, so I don't even have to drive if I'm going into the city, and I can get to DC in like 10 minutes on the metro. So this is my first time living like right in the mix of things where I can walk out my door and get to pretty much anything I need. I have like barely been using my car at all, which I'm so not used to, but I've been really liking. My car just kind of sits in the garage unless I'm driving home to New Jersey, then I drive my car so I can easily take my pets with me. But on a day-to-day basis here, I barely drive. I walk so much more, and that's something that I've realized just makes me a lot happier, I think. I know there are so many studies that show like living in a walkable neighborhood makes people happier and improves your quality of life, and I'm really feeling the effects of that. I love it so much. Also, having a car and being in Arlington, I can go more west and into the suburbs if I need to. So there's like a really great mall. There's like any shopping or like running errands that you need close by. So I just feel like it's a very great place to live in terms of convenience and accessibility. You kind of have everything at your fingertips. Plus, I can always go into Georgetown if I want more shopping. They have like every cute store there. So yeah, I feel like we just have a little bit of everything close by. I think living closer to home has also been a big improvement for me. Obviously, when I was in Charleston, I had to fly home to get back to Jersey. So I really only went home a couple of times all throughout last year, which was fine for the time being. But this year, I'm definitely glad that I live driving distance from home now. It just allows me to not have to miss out on a lot of events going on. Like I said, a couple of my friends got engaged and I've had just like random events for friends. Like today, for example, I'm driving up for my friend's birthday in New Jersey that I probably wouldn't have been able to go to if I was still living in Charleston. It's just too expensive and too much effort to fly back and forth a ton. But now it's about a 3.5 hour drive to get up to where my parents live in Jersey, so it's definitely not close. I've been road tripping back and forth quite a bit, but it is close enough that if it's something I want to go to, it's definitely doable. And it's just been really nice not having to be so far away. I can see my family a lot more often. I feel like one of the questions I get asked the most is how it is making friends and if I ever feel lonely moving to new cities. It definitely can be lonely. I don't want to make it seem like it's all been amazing and easy, but I feel like I have been really lucky in making friends pretty quickly in the places that I've moved to. Also, I will preface by saying I am like the biggest introvert and I can go like the full work week without having any in-person social interactions and I can be totally fine with that. I talk to people virtually all day at work and also stay in pretty close contact with my parents and my friends, whether it's through texting or FaceTime. So I feel like that definitely helps alleviate any loneliness. Plus I have Lennon and Kitty and I'm not kidding, that like genuinely helps so much and I'm never fully alone because I have them. But I have really made it a priority to meet as many people as I can since moving here and make new friends and get out of my comfort zone. But I've really just been using social media and trying to say yes to everything I possibly can. The only like downside I will say to making friends in DC, and this actually applies to Charleston too, is both are very transient cities, which I think has pros and cons when it comes to making friends. The pros are that a majority of people I've met are not from those cities. They have moved here recently as well, which I feel like makes people more open to making new friends. But the downside is I've had so many friends in both cities that I've met and really hit it off with that have then moved away in the time that I've lived here. It happened with a couple friends in Charleston and it's literally happened with like 4 people here in either DC or Arlington so far, which I'm obviously so happy and excited for them and I'll be staying in touch with them regardless. But that's kind of a downside to living in a place that people just come and go and move in and out of. Okay, I'm almost done with my makeup. Doing some brow gel, mascara. I always do setting spray before mascara because if I do it after, then it re-wets the mascara and then it gets all over my eyelids. I'm gonna do a little lip. Hair and makeup is done. I'm gonna change back into my dress. We'll do some finishing touches and then I'm ready to go. Here's the finished look. This dress looks so good with my hair and makeup all done. I feel so summery. I also got these little earrings from Lulus that I'm gonna wear. I forgot to mention this before, but they also have accessories, shoes, bags, literally anything you need for an event. Lulus has you covered. I'm gonna put on some body glow. We're ready to roll. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this little get ready with me, chatting, catching up. Make sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already so you don't miss out on any new videos. Also follow me on Instagram and TikTok for more of my day-to-day life over there. I love you guys so much and I will see you in another new video very soon. Bye.